up. Run to the mouth and they pop the gun. Stand up, here he comes. Tell me what it takes to be number one. Tell me what it takes to be number one. Did you realize that you are a...
I stand the picture for the Waltonian here with Kearby Benak, junior outside hitter for the East University women's volleyball team. So, Kearby, you are from Texas.
Yes.
What brought you to Eastern?
I'd say the small professor-student ratio, for one. I really wanted that connection with my professors and the opportunity for them to get to know me as a student and just better interact, especially with the hectic volleyball schedule. And the volleyball team originally got me here. I got recruited from Coach Burt Whistle, and they just had a great record, and I know that these girls really care about the sport, and that's kind of what pushed me here. And I'm actually studying psychology right now, so I know they have a good psychology program.
So you mentioned the hectic volleyball and school schedule. How do you balance that?
It's definitely more difficult at times, and you know, during the conference it's semi-easier just because we play more home games, and once we start to get to the NCAA tournament and away tournaments, it's definitely hard, but I really just try to get things done before practice and before matches, because afterward you're just so physically exhausted that you don't really have that much time to get it done. We have bus rides. We didn't really take any flights this year, but usually we take our stuff with us. Anywhere we go, there's several girls on our team studying the exact same thing, so we can study with them. Just any way you can, really, just whenever it works.
The volleyball team has always been very successful. What is it, like, how is the relationship with your coach, and does that benefit?
It's very good. He really knows what he's talking about. We have a great coaching staff. We have two really good assistants, both who played in college as well at the D1 level. And I respect him very much as a coach, and I know all the other girls do too. He knows the ins and outs of the games, and we have that emotional connection as well as on and off the court. And he's very easy to talk to. He's very easygoing, but we know exactly what he wants done. We know what he expects of us, and he really pushes us forward and helps us improve every year.
How did you get into volleyball?
I actually started when I was about 9 or 10. I played club volleyball for the Texas Tornadoes, which is my club team in Houston. And an ex-Olympic player, Tara Crossbattle, was my kind of mentor and my coach. And she was on the U.S. Olympic team, 4-time Olympic champion. And she really helped me find the love of the game. And at that age, you're playing kind of every sport. You're just really trying to figure out who you are. And I just fell in love with the game immediately, and I started playing back row, and until my sophomore year of high school I didn't start playing front row, and I just really fell in love with it.
So would you say that the ex-Olympic player would be your role model? Someone who...
I would say so. Right, that's kind of what pushed me into it so much, because I saw how much that she loved the game, and I saw how much it made her so happy, and I just loved being around her, and she's a great mentor, and she's kind of been with me every step of the way, and I just really appreciate having her around and kind of showing me the ins and outs and everything like that.
So what is your role as the outside hitter?
My role is, if we get a good pass and a good set, I need to put the ball away. It's not always necessarily who can hit the hardest or who can pound the ball on the other side of the court. It's more about being a smart hitter. There's hard hitters and there's smart hitters. And, I consider myself to be, I would hope that I'd be more of a smart hitter. Making the right shots. If the ball's not there, putting the ball in play so that we can play good defense. Setting the block front row offensively so our defense can read around us and read the hitters. There's a lot of responsibility. It's just having a good defense and a good setter. It just makes my job easier. So
I feel like when I watched the game the other day, how do you know who's going to hit the ball? I feel like everyone just goes to smack it, but you know, only one
Right.
person does?
You just kind of hope for the best, I guess. No, we have plays we practice, especially lately. We've been running a lot of trick plays in and outs of each other, and whoever calls it the loudest, and depending on where the pass is. If the pass is more inside of the court, the setter may or may not be able to push it all the way back out behind her. So the chances of you, the outside or the middle, getting the ball are greatly go up the second that happens. And based on a good pass, you know, we try to run our middles as much as possible and take advantage of that. We have 2 very strong middles, 3 even, and you know, that just gives us the opportunity as hitters just to kind of want to run whatever we want if there's a good pass. But you know, the majority of the balls do go to the outside, so you just have to kind of be ready whenever.
So communication is key.
Right, it really is.
Now, like I said, you guys are great. Your team has always been pretty successful. But I'm sure everyone comes across a rough practice, a rough game. You know, what do you do to kind of forget that, to build back up, and to come out strong?
It's really hard. It's a mentally tough game. It's definitely you know, a mental sport. You have to pull yourself out for the betterment of the team. You can't be so down on yourself that, you know, you let the next ball go. It's all about a team sport, and you have to realize that. So if you go out and have a bad match or a bad game, you know, you have to realize, all right, I'm going to come to practice, I'm going to work hard for every single point. You know, I'm going to come back, I'm going to bounce back twice as hard. And it's just all for the betterment of the team. Like, regardless of, you know, if coach randomly at practice will say, yeah, you know, I want you to try a different position out today. You just have to be willing to do it, and you have to be willing to say, okay, you know what, I realize this is a team sport, and whatever's going to get us that win at the end of the year and get us to that Elite Eight, that's what I'm going to do. So it's all just back to the mental game and how much you can handle it, and the, you know, criticism that you can handle. And coach really knows how everyone responds, so that really helps. You know, I like to be yelled at, some people don't, so that depends.
So if you could offer advice to a younger player, what is one thing that you would tell them?
Hard work, for sure. I would say that, you know, without all the sweat that you put in at practice, you know, practice really does make perfect, and I know that's really cliche to say, but it really does. Your body remembers the movements, and if you work hard in practice, you're going to do the exact same thing in games. If you know where to go in practice and listen to your coach, you know exactly where to go in games. So it's just working hard every single point of every single match and every single practice. You go out there and you just give 100%, and it becomes a habit. And you know, that's really what it's all about, is just making your body used to those habits in game-like situations.
Now, you're a junior, you have 1 year left. After graduation next year, where do you see yourself in volleyball?
I actually really want to play overseas. This summer I had the opportunity to play on the USA developmental team, and that was a really good experience for me, just because, you know, I love other cultures, I love seeing the world, but at the same time, you know, my love of volleyball I don't think will ever really end. And just to think about maybe the possibility of not playing after college just like kills me. And you know, I'm just really hoping that I get that opportunity to go play, preferably maybe even in Spain. You know, I may study there this summer and see what's, you know, kind of happening over there with that. But I really can see myself playing on, and hopefully I can.
Yeah, I mean, with all this hard work that you put in, why just stop?
Let it stop, right?
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me the most, is that I just can't imagine myself it just being completely cut off and not having that anymore. That's such a big part of my life, and what I grew up all these years playing is just gone. That's crazy to me.
Well, good luck to you with that.
Thank you.
Now, the volleyball team will be traveling for the next couple games, but make sure to check out the Eastern Athletic page for any updates on live feeds where you can get in on the action and support the Eagles. Again, I'm Samantha Victor here with Kearby, Benak. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Stand up, here he comes. Tell me what it takes to be number one. Tell me what it takes to be number one. Did you realize that you are a champion? Yes, I did. So I packed it up and brought it back to the crib.